Home Show.
Charlotte from Spring Branch, Texas has a question about Hardie Rehab.
Well, she has this piece of fascia, Tom, right here that's pulled away. You can see that partway down the wall there where it's pulling away.
I can.
And Charlotte writes to us, it's pulled away. I called Ideal Roofing and they told me to get a carpenter. They said it wasn't something that they would necessarily have to fix. She says the ones I know are retired. Could you please recommend one and tell me what should I look for in a carpenter? Now, I know what carpenter you're going to recommend. I think the reason I wanted to have this question on here was so you could address specifically what to look for when you're hiring a carpenter, Tom.
Well, I want to specifically talk about her job, and I know it was done very poorly and very wrong, because if you look at the rake fascia and the straight fascia where they come together, there is no angle cut. It was not detailed right there in the corner where the two come together. It was a really poor job. And I assume that there's no nailer behind there, which means blocking or subfascia. So there's no nails, and the Hardie just has nothing to hang on to. They probably put it in the end of a couple of rafter tails, didn't hold well, and now it's just bowing out because Hardie is heavy. And it'll start to move a little bit. It'll pull those nails right out. Now, as far as a carpenter goes, call Rudy. He has carpenter crews. They'll come out. They'll do full service. They'll caulk it, paint it after it's all fixed. I don't know what's behind there, but I can tell you the initial job was done poorly, and that's the reason this all has happened. That is actually good news because of the fact that it's not a roof leak. It's not deterioration from some kind of major problem. It was just poorly put together, and now paying the price because it's taken a while for it to decide, hey, let me show you how bad it is. And then it's starting to come off. So it can easily be fixed, I'm sure. I don't think there's an underlying problem here. When you get a carpenter, well, I know one carpenter not to get is the one that put those two fascia boards up. Look at detail work. You'll know if they know what they're doing because the detail work will be done much better. It's not the old adage, don't worry about it, the painter will fix it. And they just put a bunch of caulk and paint on there and nobody knows the difference. That's not what you want. You want someone that does good quality cornice work. Rudy has crews that do cornice work. They do it all the time. And there is a difference between exterior carpenters most of the time and interior carpenters that do trim work. And Rudy has trim carpenters too that will do crown molding and baseboards and window trim. And that's a little more refined as far as the work goes and as far as the tools go. What do you look for in a carpenter? I don't know. I don't know what they look like. Everybody looks a little different, but you certainly want to look at the detail work. And all you do is talk to them. And if you're not sure, then someone like us, Home Show Radio. I know Rudy's carpenters. They worked on my home. They actually fixed a fascia board and replaced it with Hardie. And it was beautifully done. And you can't tell the difference between the wood and the Hardie. It matched perfectly. The kerf cuts fit. It was nice detail work. And a good recommendation sometimes is what you really need.
Yeah, and you go to a friend who's had some work done, and I know one of the things Tom says to do is get a list of their past jobs. If somebody won't give you a page full of people they've done work with, they either haven't done that many people, or they're not that confident with their work, and they're not going to give you those people, or you let somebody do the legwork for you, like us. Go to HomeShowRadio.com. You click right over there on that blue Ask Tom button, or no, scroll down rather. I'm getting ahead of myself. You'll find all our pros here. And if you click on the Find a Pro button on the top, you can sort by category too. That's just a friendly service of ours here at HomeShowRadio.com. It's how we choose the people who work on our house, and we recommend that you do the same thing. You got a question? You want us to help you out? Go ahead and visit HomeShowRadio.com. This time, click on that blue button. It'll take you to this page where you can fill out a form, you can send us a picture, you can send us a video, anything you can do to help us get the information we need to answer a question. And Tom put his 34 years of experience on the radio answering questions, along with his home building experience and his degree in architecture. All that'll come together to give you the answer you need to get things done for you. And we'll post a new one every day, round the clock, year after year, at HomeShowRadio.com, our Facebook page, and of course on our YouTube channel.